3 car mash up at Ochi. Three of them crash, mash up. 3 people dead. I don't know if some of them people can drive really, you know. Maybe them just get a license and just a steer. They have this daughter up on her bike back. Well dressed up on her goat. Boom, car, bike crash, and she dead. I don't know what happened. It make me feel like I don't want to drive, go nowhere. Just stay in my yard. Come see man pass me already, and me I drive 85, 90. And the way him pass me know him gone over 120.
Blessed love, my viewers and subscribers. Wagwan. Open all doing good. Open all staying safe. Now, my people, we're there again on Soul Chat TV with another Mutabaruka content. And this one is the latest Steppin razor as of April the 4th, 2024. This is the latest. Now, my people, the main topic in this one, the road fatality is getting too much. We need to go with a little caution on the road. Too much crazy driving. Mutabaruka said a lot more in this one. So definitely wanna stay tuned for it, cause it's going to be pretty interesting and also educated. So my people, you know it's a Black Power movement, so definitely drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done it already, and share to a friend or a family so they can be a part of the movement. Now, let's go in, check out what Mutabaruka have to say. I will leave our thoughts and opinions at the end. Let's walk.
This is the Steppin razor. And next Thursday, April with now. You listen to the voice of Errol Dunkley doing over Nina Simone song. Brand new CD from Errol Dunkley. I tell you, say, I listen to them man from me a Pickney. And me how much year old now, that means them man they would have reached all 110-year-old now. Trust me. The man they sing long time, you know. And a tour. Me and him buck up at the airport the other day, I come from Europe there. The man they still a play and a ram up place. Trust me. Yes, man, me I tell you, when you know so the man still a sing and a tour, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, him did it from Jamaica, what I talk about when him did it, you know, because me know how much he old me is and me know how much he old me was when the first time he hear Errol Dunkley. So me nah pass him to be less than 100 year old. Errol Dunkley, you know, man, the way they tell everybody, say, Mutabaruka, love how you continue the journey. Anybody who hear me, I know Errol Dunkley, tell him what me I say. This is the Steppin razor, the art of war, where they are with you. Go through the paces, and I hear we are going on the road, them. May I tell you, carnage. I don't know if we are going by, but it come like the driver them now decide say they might try outpace the gunman them. Yeah. The gunman them a kill people, and now we see the driver them are going like say them want have more casualties than the gunman them will kill people. I don't understand how we are going. What is happening? And most of the time, first time when you see a car, you know, so a whole car broke down a road, you know. Yeah, it broke down a road. No, me not see no car broke down a road, you know. But me see car mash up in a road. Just when me done look at one video, me I try to figure out if I wish part me I drive that thing they did a go on. And my daughter said no, the day before. One bridging, I don't know where I do. On the highway, north-south highway there. Boom, boom, and flash past everybody. When you drive go down on the other part of the road, the man drive the Mercedes-Benz over the railing them. Drive the Mercedes-Benz the way my drive far. I don't know where the hell him can go. It's like him here to the road I go locked down. Then the next day now, we hear apparently the man must have a bad tire for him van. I go through Fern Gully. That me I wonder now, how a car can crash in a Fern Gully and kill people. Whether it have a bad tire or not, but at what speed was he driving through Fern Gully? That film tire bust out. And it kill people and mash up people, Rasta. Me don't understand that. And then day before, yes, I went the one over here, that one, you know. 3 car mash up at Ochi. 3 of them crash, mash up. 3 people dead. 3 people dead.
Another one for the news.
I don't know if some of them people can drive really, you know. Maybe them just get a license and just a steering wheel. I don't say you drive, you know. I don't say you drive at all. They have this daughter on her bike back, well dressed up on her goat. Boom, car, bike crash, and she dead. I don't know what's what happened. It make me feel like I don't want to drive, go nowhere. Just stay in my yard. But we don't know what can happen. Maybe an earthquake just come and shake up the top of my building and drop on me. Boy, yeah, sir. We're going to take a break and come forward. Well, I tell you, I talk about the incident and 2 things I just hear a while ago. A man sent a video come show me a while ago with a car I drive. A car or a coaster. And all them a driver, him a blow him hand. Why you drive and a blow your hand straight? What that good for? And then the wickedest one now is that me here say in June the said weekend in a Portland, a man and him 2 picnic in a car and him come out and another man lick him. And the father and one of the picnic them dead. The other one gone to hospital.
Serious.
It's where go on, it's where I go on.
Take time on the road.
Me tell only self to just dig up back the road. I tell the only to dig up back the road, you know, Rasta. Because I come like, all nigga no use so smooth road. One to the camera them, where them supposed to have on the road. Them don't have no camera upon them highway and byways and all them places. Them need some camera, Rasta. Because you see England, I mean, I compare England with Jamaica, you know, but you can't drive any little distance and van and camera no pick you up, you know. Me and my brethren, them are driving and them know exactly where the camera them left to slow down, you know. You see, for them pass the camera, gone like lightning, and me at the brethren. And no plane me go catch in your yard, me go. America, a man I drive, not care if him come from Jamaica, if him come from the deepest part of Jamaica when I have no stoplight. You see, from him say a stoplight, even if it say yellow, him go and go stop and wait till it say green. When them say, in England, you depend on highway and them say 20 miles per hour. And them ride it at the middle of the road, you know. Them ride how much miles you must supposed to go in at the middle of the road. So and some highway, what we call highway, them ride that, you know, 20 miles per hour. You think any Jamaican I go drive on one of them road there and see it mark 20 miles per hour and keep 20 miles per and keep 50 miles per hour? Them need some camera, Rasta. Camera. Government must invest in some camera upon the road.
You want a serious thing.
Not just which part the toll booth there, where they might tell you how much money you're supposed to pay. And who which car come there, so what kind of car. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Car now, this is what I hold you all high and each up in some dump. Pure old car mash up. And nowadays a pure new car I see on the road. all of them car that we are crashing, you know, and a whole car, you know. Like all the Benz there, like all the Land Rover. A Land Rover, them call them a Range Rover. Them car, a kind of new kind of car. And then the people, them dead. We can't tell the driver them say ease up. Because it don't make no sense. Them not listen. Because every man feels say, the other man a go crash, him not crash. Every man feel that when him a drive. Him say, oh, them man they that, you know, them can't drive, you know. And him a drive some way upon the road, I drive on the right hand side of the road. And that him a do, him a drive on the right hand side of the road. I mean, I say, but wait. I mean, more than 1 week we are talking about this car driving business, the coaster bus, them and them a come off all the Red Girl Ring Road, there, so and I go down Long Lane, there, so. And them a drive like it's a one way. You live on the highway and you see some youth flash past you. Some youth, I don't know. Some youth flash past me and them recognize me. And them slow down up at the top of the road just to see if I really me. And when my car then near to them, they start drive with my car and I say, what, Mutabaruka? I say, Bridget, look on where you go, man. A highway there, pan. Look on where you go.
People, they crazy, you know.
Them no business. I mean, them love them life, you know, but them don't want to live them life. Them love them life. I can't say nobody don't love them life. Most people love them life, but them don't want to live them life. And right now we're reaching a stage where it get wicked. Every day a bike crash. The other day I come home 12 in the night. And when we reach up at the top of the road, I pass Golden Spring. I see a long line of traffic. I say, where I go on up there? So them say, what you want to say? They might try pull out a car from under a truck, you know. A long time we there, you know. Now we realize, I'm doing it far from the yard, you know. And me and Jackie, I say, you know something? I go get to a hotel here, Rasta, and get up early, man, and come up here. Because when they must send me for go drive, go way around, go way up a Lawrence Stafford and come back down and all the way there. But never let them think they and make like the night there. And when we go drive off, we see the man run, come down and I say, hey, them put him out, them pull him out. Same place where 5 youth crash. Same place, 5 youth dead. A ride come up the road like them are mad people, like a one way. Same place where 2 youth crash, same bike man them.
But they not patient.
And them no business. I mean, them business, you know. But them not things that them are going to crash. Most time, when you see a man drive on the highway and them a speed, you know, him not think say him going to crash. But him don't know say a man can make all a wrong move and make him crash.
True.
You know, see it? Meanwhile, him think say him not crash and another man are going to make a wrong move. And the problem with it is that the nether man nah go dead. And him a go dead. Because more than likely the man who make a move, him did that drive slow, and show him see the person that drive slow in front of him, him decides him go speed up and overtake the man. And when him overtake and swing out, for go swing back in, him can't go down skid. Boof, lift up on the partition of the road. See him car spin over and go over there so. The other day we see a man crash and a pure fire engulf from car and van. And the man a roll upon the dirt. A roll. Forget you that the fire. It's when him get up, him look like a dundus.
Oh, no.
When you look at him skin, it look like a dundus. I don't know where him they know. How him going to manage with that the skin. It have to get all sort of thing.
All because speeding.
And the problem with it is that even though you are drive careful, you always have a mad guy where it goes so terrible that he will lick you. He will lick your car. And then so it's like the bike man them. Most of the people them who dead pan bike are the pillion them, you know. Most of the people them who dead pan bike back are pillion. All the daughter were dead the other day. You can just imagine how she go buy up this and buy up that and a holiday time and she go jump on bike now go out. Things stay away, Rasta. Things really, really stay away. This is the stepping razor. Also one more thing and come off of this. You know, I feel with them people who are drive them new car, yeah? When them say 80 kilometer, them not see it as kilometer. Them see it as 80 miles per hour. But you know when you drive 80 miles per hour, you know. Because on the highway, it not say 80 miles per hour, you know. It say 80 kilometer. Now, true, a whole heap of one no use a kilometer and miles. Them just drive how them want to drive. Them no business if it say 80 kilometer. Them are going at 120. 120. Come see man pass me already. And me I drive 85, 90. And the way him pass me know him gone over 120. Me not drive on no road at 120. Me not drive that way there. And anyone see a man I drive that way there with me on a road 120 miles. I mean 120 kilometers. I don't business if it's a highway. He must let me out. Me will take my chance with the gunman. Because sometimes you can't talk to them gunman there. Let me out. Even if me up on the highway, make me walk and stand up there and bum lift. Nobody that left me a road. And I have to just hold out my foot. He say, wait a muta that you don't see him foot there and just go with me. So it's a thing. It's weird, man. It's weird. We'll take a break and come forward. Yes, the man say more last a day without you. Trial and crosses. And a whole heap of people that say trial and crosses I reach them, you know. Yeah, man. Some people go all over the place to go find solace in them trial and crosses. And not realize that sometimes they have to looking at themselves. Where a man can't work some of the time, you know, and the ring them where you have on your finger, where you call, where them call it ring. You know, it can't work. You know, see, you have to go in on yourself, man. What you're going on within yourself. What is the demon that you have in you? When you drive them way up on the road, because you want to reach down a Constant Spring or reach down half a tree before the other man with the behind you. Sometimes them block the other man, you know, and through them block the man behind them. Them block up all of the car them with the behind the other man. And them now check that. Oh, me never see a me drive and see all the people. I never see a policeman stop one of them man yet. And me now say them not stop them, you know. But me see it so much time that me I say, oh, what just me when I see them thing here? And my trial and cross is that I me when I say the man them a drive like madman and idiot on the road. Me not see no policeman in all of the hot spot them with them things they go on. No policeman at all. And when you reach down in the town area, you see the whole of them they on them cell phone. The police them attack. Stand up there and look on them cell phone and look man and all them way there. Look how much madness are going on the road, Rasta. Look how the man them a drive. How the other day, last year, a year before last, we see government send out press release, all to me and them send it. For read out, if you get caught with that, without license, without registration, $20,000, without this, that, if you make a wrong move, this and that, if you broke a stoplight, this and that. Where all them little la, where we no sit down. Me no see it at work. Because me no see no difference. Because it's supposed to make a difference in the attitude and the behavior of the driver them. I see more people right now are drive terrible. It's like the man them just dare the government to say, I bet you so we just drive same way and you can't do nothing. You know, see it. The amount of bad driving, I know say no me want to experience it. Because I put myself in the way to experience bad drivers. Because most of the time when I get bad riding, I become in a line of traffic. A man there at a stoplight, and it says stop, and a string of car stop. And as the light go yellow, you see a taxi man just fly around the whole of the car, and just gone past the stoplight. And when you go down the way, you see no police. I don't understand them something there. I don't understand that. But all of them law where them did put down, them love put down law and not administrate the law and not set the law in motion. That's why you have so much generalship and scamming go on. Monks, the people them in authority, me attack. Because them not instinct, them not make the thing work continuously. Anyway, we are go for the news and sports and come forward. Boy, me I tell you, serious thing. And that's how the system reach, you know. That's how the system reach. I mean, no say a good portion of that, yes. So, I have something to say it already, you know. I think, all right, America decides to go ban TikTok because it poses a threat to the, what them call it now, safety of American intel. And you know, TikTok is a Chinese thing. And they have a big thing going on the other day where them try TikTok and them get a bipartisan, meaning say both houses, the Senate and the Congress vote say yes. The only way TikTok must stay in America is if it's an American company. Run it. So I don't know how that will go because the Chinese them, and me believe them say the Chinese are use it for spy. Me believe that. No, me think say the government should really look into that too. I don't know how them can do it, but I know say if America ban it, them will think about it. Because TikTok are turning youth them in an idiot. TikTok is turning the youth them in an idiot. And you have some big grown mothers and grandmothers who is following them picnic on TikTok. Because most of them think the way you say, them big people there post on TikTok, you know. And them grand picnic and them picnic, I use the camera to take it, you know. When I look on TikTok, and I say, really? Really? And that's how we gone, Rasta. And some of them is spin off from YouTube. I think them should investigate YouTube because you know. I am one of the ones them who is so upset and vexed. Because you have some people will repost the program them. And when you see the headline where them put there, I said nothing of the sort. I said nothing, it had nothing to do with what I was talking about on the program. And these users had learned the art of deception. Deception. Because them put up a thing there. And you say, that muta, weird. And it's either you go fight against muta hard. I'm going to see them do it with other artists.
So true. So true, my people. I myself experienced this as well. You know. And sometimes some of the video them get recommended to me. Some of the older video them. And just like this video in my post when Rennie to Adams. Me do a reaction to it, but if you listen to the front part of the video, I state that it's an old video and it has been recommended to me, so I react to it. Even the other day, I was watching a few Mutabaruka videos because That's what I like do with my spare time. Just, like taking the teaching and get knowledge and thing. And me see Renito Adams video post again. And the caption and everything seems like it's a new thing. So I click on it and I see them things. So I just have to click off back. And countless videos, like even the Vibes Cartel appeal case from way back. When with Mutabaruka interviewed this female, I think her name is Didi, something like that. I'm not sure. I see that video repost again and bring up back like it's a new child. So many people click on that video and watch it, even me myself. And when we check a stack, it's an old video. A lot of people use the social media in a very negative way. I don't know how we're going to situate these things because it's not a good thing. And it's not good for Mutabaruka characteristic as well. So I can understand what Mutabaruka is going through. I myself, sometimes my headline is a little bit harsh, or sometimes the title them is a little bit harsh, but I always make sure I mention what is going on in the videos or the date that it's recorded. Check it out.
Them put up a post up there, and when you read the post, you say, really? And then when you go down in a way to say, they say nothing like what the person put up on the thing about what the person has said. I really have to find out if there's a law against these people who put up misleading and misguided information on the internet, YouTube especially.
The thing is that, there's a law, defamation of character. I think that's what it called. I'm not really sure. It's not going to be very successful against most of these people that are doing it because most of them don't show their face. You don't know their name. You don't know nothing about them. I myself are the only one that actually show my face reacting to Mutabaruka content. I'm the only one. There's nobody else. So you can't sue them or you can't do nothing to them because you don't know who is everybody's incognito. And they're just doing their thing. So I guess this is just what we have to work with and live.
So when you look on YouTube or look on TikTok, you realize them people are trying to make money, but them are make money in the most deceptive way. Them worse than the politician them.
True.
Because when you think you have the politician them to deal with, here comes some youth now, where them will also cost the politician and don't realize what them are do is keep it in line with the deception of the politician them.
True.
I have never, some people could dig up some old-time cutting edge. When them turn it round and twist it round. Yes, but wait. I don't saw the program to go Rasta. When you look at the headline and the thing, it forces you to go look at the whole thing, Because you definitely want to see what is it that was said as it relates to what the headline is saying. And you read right through it and you realize, nothing of them have the audacity to talk about subscribe, press button and all them something there. Madness. A madness. Why we stay so? I talk about just we, but we have a consumption. We are consuming and we are debating, arguing over stupidities that take place on that little thing named YouTube. How them get you to do that? How them get the YouTube to be with center with life? That people have them phone and can't sleep without them phone. Them have the phone right beside them bed head. And some of them have it in them bed with them. As the light start to flash, one big conversation in the bed.
True.
First time I see that, well, I tell you, I couldn't believe it. People don't want to go to them bed because them sit down in them couch and listen to see if them phone are going to ring. It disturb the equilibrium of your consciousness. Yeah, your conscience is supposed to be of a certain level. It's supposed to be stable. And when you do these things, it affects you right through. And there's something else, you hear a phone ring and it make you jump up. But when you take up the phone and you don't see the call, and you see what are them things that pop up on your phone, you start to look on it like say daylight. And I make it 2 o'clock a man when should I sleep. That is what them do it. And now young people can't have too much of it. It's like the new God. We keep saying it. The cell phone is the new God. Where are them people there with the blood of Jesus and the olive oil and all them something there?
Where them there?
Hey, Pastor, you know, say Jamaica want high out. I mean, everybody call for no blood and no Jesus, you know, because too much blood are run in a Jamaica. I don't know if Jesus' blood are going to make no difference. Blood are blood. But one to the olive oil, man. We want a couple tank. Like them cesspool tank. With up on the back of the truck. We want some of them oil there. I will put them in a boat and spray it right round the island from St. Morant Bay to Negril Point, right round. Forget rid of the crosses where we see a guardia, so called crosses. With this iPhone and cell phone. Cell phone is good. You know, it helps you keep in contact, keep in link, send messages, and find out certain information. But when we see the youth, them a look and have nothing to do with information. When we see the youth, them a look and have nothing to do with upliftment, advancement of them mind. Nothing. It have nothing to do with it. And you have to monitor them, monitor. You know, you don't want to spend your whole age and monitor like a youth. We have 30, 40 years more to reach your age. You know that every time him come home, you have to tell him, say, look here, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that. It must be automatic. It must be automatic. Like when my mother used to say, you do your homework. I said, no, she said, put on everything and go do your homework. You know, do your homework before you eat your dinner. Nowadays, they might have no dinner. They might have the iPhone round the dining table, if they have a dining table. And the iPhone have nothing to do with the mother and the father who sit down there. With them or them little brother or sister. I just them alone, down in night. We have to figure it out, you know. We have to figure it out. We're going to go. Yeah, we have to talk about the TikTok and the YouTube business we are going. We take over the nation. You know, most youth, that is them life now. Life. The education where you can observe from the iPhone, the cell phone, is so big and wide and broad. But I bet you any money, most of them you can look upon them something there. It have to be them not voluntarily just go there. Go look for information where it's edifying. Them have to go be sent there either by them teacher or by some curiosity. Normally, if you see them, a whole heap of them itch up and look on the most decadent of things where you can find. Man, I talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. Or man, I talk about Babylon. But we are living in now worse than Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. Because I tell you, Sodom and Gomorrah, I have been there. And it's not no big place. Sodom and Gomorrah never big like Kingston. May I tell you no that? Sodom and Gomorrah never big like Kingston. Yet still, them say, it's a wicked place with all heap of lesbian and whatsoever them call them, guys them in there. And it get destroyed. Now look how we are going in Jamaica. Worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Plus, you talk about Sodom and Gomorrah plus gunman, murderer, scammer, politician. I tell you.
Serious.
A terrible thing when you look on something. We need to figure out about them youth there. Like them like a teenage youth, you know, Ghana, them 19, 20. Them not listen to nobody. 21, 22, and them a crash. 23, them no business. For long as them can't find the party and have on certain clothes, especially the woman them, or the young ladies them, I should say. For them can find somewhere to go and find the best dress and find one man to buy them what them want by any means necessary.
Gone.
And that them want. Them no business about muta. Muta can go and talk when I talk, you know. You know, see it. So one to the time when you really find out, so where we are say, go so. Might be too late. Yes, a whole lot of people realize say too late. Because if you talk about the driving on the road and nobody, them hear you know, but them not listen. Long time them hear you say things, but them not listen. And it's when them in the hospital bed, now them start to flex, say, rotted. You know, say, me did I listen to one program one time and me hear the virgin say, you must do this and do that. And me never do it. Just like the food. You know, so the government are poison out the people them. The government are poison out the people them, you know, but the government are go like them don't know. The food where we have. We don't have no time to check it out, you know, and them are bringing food at the island, where a whole heap of place, the things that when them have on them food, a whole heap of place in the world don't accept it. Don't accept it. Just like how we see the whole heap of gonna come in Jamaica and Haiti. And it not stop. And if you do them, I say them I do something about them, not do nothing about it. Just like how Biden has sent 2,000 pound bomb in Israel. Still, around the corner, him a tell Netanyahu say, look here, just ease up my brethren, where are you see a killer to my people, so the world up against me, I'm going to lose election if this bombing go on still. Because the people must say, I should have stopped you. Netanyahu not listen to him. Because Netanyahu know, so no care what him do, America will support him. And that is where it show you. The man has sent modern artillery, bombs, as we speak, into Israel for the IDF, them call them Israel Defense Force. And on the radio, them put up some little black people especially. Them press secretary and them one there, and attack like say, them a try to stop it. Them not stopping it. Them not stopping it. When they see them with your dog, so they're going to flow in the island, you hear them and say, boy, too much going to come in the island, but nobody not stop it. Them find somebody going but want to the gun with them not find. The gun with them not find more than the gun with them find. That's like a youth no have gun on the street like joke. And them feel like them have power when them have it. And you can't talk to some of them. Can't talk to some of them, Rasta. And that is the problem with it. When you see something wrong and you try to correct the thing, and you hear a man that say, love me no. Love me, man. Yeah, man, we all used to dance with one another, man and woman. No man a dance over there, so woman a dance over there, so. And when man and woman a dance, the woman turn her backside to the man. And the man there, they a drink and don't know, say, all them a dance, the woman go on with nothing more than just stand up there. A joke. Them thing there, I feel good at the moment thing. It have nothing to do with understanding the moment. You understand? Man and woman must dance together. Yes. Face to face. That is where it's supposed to be. I don't care how much things want to change and nowadays this and nowadays that. Certain things just don't change. Because now we hear them and say, policewoman and no policewoman again. Corporal woman and no corporal woman, corporal. You must say woman again. Gender neutral. Watch it in the police force. Watch it. That going away there. I mean, I understand what I'm saying, but we don't want to make it appear like we follow in America. We talk about, we must say woman, corporal, lieutenant, woman, this, that. No. We don't say woman police and man police already. Now they come and tell you, so we must say woman police. Anyway, we're going to take a break and come for. Yes, this is the Steppin Razor. You know, we get a press release from the Advocates Network for call for improving governance. This is a group of advocates, seems as if that them coming together now for give them views and things about what should take place. Especially like how now them attack, I don't hear nothing about it again, you know. I'm going to ask her, I don't hear nothing more about this changing of the constitution and republic and all them things that we have. Rosalia Hamilton online. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am, now that I hear you, I feel very good. Feel very good now that I hear you. All right. So I am responding to this press release. What is it that you are calling upon the public to do?
Well, the press release does at least three things. It recognizes and supports the statement that was written by the Jamaica Council of Churches on March the 28th. And the Jamaica Council of Churches, in their statement, was expressed deep concerns about the direction of the proceedings in Parliament and how parliamentarians are handling matters of a delicate nature. That's their words.
That was towards the walking out and what the Prime Minister did. That was a response to that.
Well, yes, it was a response to that. It was also a response to the issues having to do with the reports.
Yes.
And the issues generally about what we're seeing now in Parliament, questions of the illicit six. You know, the parliamentarians, 6 of them, who are being investigated.
And nobody's saying it's who.
Illicit, and nobody knows who it is. So all of these, I suspect, is what the press release speak to generally, but specifically, the press statement spoke to the fact that it was important in good governance and in the interest of transparency to make the legal opinion of the Attorney General very public, because that is now a bone of contention, because the discussion is really about whether how the lawyers interpret both the Constitution and the law with respect to the tabling of these reports. Yeah. And I think for your audience, the Constitution speaks very specifically about the role of the Auditor General and the responsibility for the Auditor General on an annual basis to submit reports to the Speaker, who shall cause them to be laid before the House of Representatives. Yeah. And so that's a clear reading of the Constitution, suggests that as these reports go to Parliament, they ought to be tabled. Now, of course, the Speaker has subsequently tabled these reports, and we think that's a good thing, and we see that as consistent with not just the Constitution, but the rule of law. And what is at issue now is other reports from the Integrity Commission and, just the procedures about whether they should go first to the minister the relevant minister before going to Parliament. And I think those questions really speak to the dominant role of the executive, who not only dominates the parliamentary arrangement, but also these rules that give the executive a very strong hand in determining
Doing what them do,
outcomes of reports and stuff like that.
I make a ask you, we could back up here.
Mm.
I am told by someone in England, one of my brethren, them say, anytime in Parliament, if while the House is in session and the Prime Minister get up and walk out, he has given up his post as Prime Minister. Is anything go so?
I'm not aware of that. There may be more to the action of walking out to just give up your post. I mean, under the parliamentary system, Prime Minister in England can lose his office if the majority of his colleagues vote, put a no confidence vote on the table, and that vote carries. So
yeah, but
that's how you move Prime Minister.
Well, all right, and that's carry upon it because I don't know. I was just told that, and I need to get a lawyer to find out if it's true. Mm-hmm. All right. The advocacy network has been doing other works. The other day, I think I got in contact with you about corporal punishment in schools. Still.
It's a major thing.
You remember that?
Yes, I think we spoke briefly on that.
Yeah. Is it something that should take place, or is the teachers going overboard with it? Or is there a specific thing that the Minister of Education put out there, say, corporal punishment must not be done in schools?
Well, I am aware of a particular, a recent position with respect to the Ministry of Education on the matter. I don't have the specifics of it, but we should bear in mind that the kinds of licks we all got growing up, right, can be seen as abuse.
Of course it is.
And in fact, once we're talking about abuse, the law prevents us from this kind of abuse of anybody, especially our children. And so, with or without any additional statement of enforcement or whatever the particular intervention from the ministry is, it certainly is reinforcing the existing laws that suggest that we cannot abuse our children.
Yeah.
And so that is something that we have to think twice. So let me just say this, it's an experience I've had that makes me think twice about how we address some of the issues that we face in this country. As part of the work that I do, we've been collaborating with the Parenting Commission, and they had a 6-month program that they provide for parents to help them with parenting. And, first of all, I thought, wow, parents, 6 months is a long time, for especially parents who are on the edge and so on. And I felt, wow, I am very curious to see the outcome of this intervention, because if anybody had said after 6 months you could get a typical Jamaican parent, a mother, to stop beating their child, I would say no way, right? But I was pleasantly surprised. And I had to ask that parent who said at the end of the session, and we're talking about the outcomes of this intervention, and she said, from she started the program, she stopped beating her baby. And when I heard that, I said, why? And she said something very important. She said, the truth is, I grew up seeing my parents beat me and beat everybody, and that's just how I know to discipline my child. Sure. But I was taught how to discipline my child differently, and that's what I'm now doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that, therefore, to say that we have to recognize that a lot of what we do is learned behavior, including the beating of our children. Of course, many of us who got the lick say, boy, you see how we come out good, so nothing wrong with it. and that is really not the point, of course, and it only reinforces that, and perpetuates this type of behavior. I think what the narrative and the discussion that Jamaicans ought to be having is, listen, this whole beating and abuse is rooted in our history. We normalized abuse and violence during the institution of slavery and colonization.
Yeah. But even before that, you ever come in contact with an old woman will tell you, say, the Bible say, you must spare the rod and spoil the child.
Absolutely. And that's reinforced absolutely by these religious ideas.
Yeah.
So I think if we're going to root it out and we want to have behavior change, then we have to do specific targeted interventions.
Yeah.
And I think I want to commend the Parenting Commission for what they've been doing. I've worked closely with them. I think it's effective. And I think more resources should be put behind the work of the Parenting Commission to engage parents. I mean, we have had situations where male parents, men who have the primary responsibility of upbringing of that child, have said they want help. They're asking for help. And so I think it's an awesome responsibility. None of us are taught to be parents. And I think given the kinds of challenges that we see with respect to abuse, as well as and significantly with respect to the support that our children need in the education system, right?
Yeah.
We have to do better. And I think we need specific interventions to help our parents to be better.
Yes. All right. So we could come forward to the unknown six. According to them, 6 people is responsible for this madness where everybody contemplate and figure out what you think should happen. Should their names be called, or should just keep quiet until them get over them charge and then you call them name? Or you think that will work?
It's a very important conversation that all else being equal, it's not unreasonable to say that let's get all the evidence and the proof and then make the names public. But this is not an ordinary situation. About 80% of Jamaicans perceive that the government and governments, let me not say in this government, let me be very clear that it's been a perspective for a long time, is corrupt. The corruption perception is very, very high. And so, of course, we heard the Prime Minister making a distinction between the reality and so on, and that's another conversation. But whether real or perceived, our actions and the actions of the government is very, very important in managing this this perceived, if not real, crisis that we have. All right? And therefore, it doesn't augur well for good governance if there is an investigation taking place and the people who are being investigated not only continues to sit in our parliament with the awesome responsibility of lawmaking. Let's be very careful about what I'm just saying. Making the law of the land, right? Now, what would prevent them from shaping law that hides these illicit activities? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so this is not an ordinary situation where somebody is accused. It's individuals that we entrust with the awesome responsibility of making laws that affect our lives. And therefore, we think at minimum, they should be asked to step aside from their roles and responsibilities in Parliament. If they are found guilty, they can be, or not guilty, I should say, they can be clearly reinstated. There's nothing.
Yes, even if they have been investigated, them should be, meanwhile the investigation happening, they should take aside. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, remember, some of them may be sitting on the Integrity Commission providing oversight of the very institution that is investigating them.
I can't believe it.
Yes, this is ridiculous. And so, I think it is more than reasonable to say step aside. And guess what? The same publicity that you will get if you are stepping aside, you will get when you are reinstated. Because it will be very clear that there was no evidence. And individuals in the public sector and elsewhere have had that experience time and time again. Our members of parliament would not be unique in being asked to step aside while an investigation takes place. That's the norm in many jurisdictions.
Of course.
And I think in the context of the problem of corruption and crime in Jamaica, I think it is a necessary step.
So how that going to fit in now with we call it for a republic and the people them who is supposed to designate this a republic is now involved in such debacle? How that going to fit into that?
Well, you're raising an excellent question there with respect to this discussion we're having about the Constitution, because let me remind your listeners, that the Prime Minister announced a very important step 2 years ago, and we fully supported his call for, and I'm pretty much saying this verbatim, the most meaningful and comprehensive constitutional reform in the country since its independence. That's in the terms of reference of the Constitution Reform Committee. This is not a trivial decision. It's an important decision, and I back the Prime Minister 100%. And the Minister with responsibility 100%. This is the step Jamaica needs to go. Now, what does it mean to have comprehensive constitutional reform? It cannot mean, in my mind, that a committee meets on an ad hoc basis and then from time to time announcements are made, or less than 10 apparently, I don't know the exact number of engagements with the public, and most Jamaicans have no clue what's happening. That doesn't make sense to me. I think if we're talking about constitutional reform, and we're talking about a process in which for the first time in the history of Jamaica, the Jamaican people can have a say in its constitution in a comprehensive way, beyond what we did with respect to Chapter 3, where there was widespread consultation. And those who were able and capable got involved and so on, and things were changed for the better by and large. But we've never had a chance to debate and discuss, for example, the structure of government. The very structure that we're talking about now with respect to the role of the Speaker, with respect to tabling of procedures, all these things are in the Constitution. So, will the Jamaican people have a chance to wade in on these issues? What is that process? And this is not a novel idea, by the way. Many countries, since their independence, have set up new constitutions, new arrangements that went beyond, way beyond, what the colonial powers left them at the independence period. And so while we understand the history, we understand what happened. I have spoken to people who were part of the process and said, they were rushing to get this thing done because, they want the British to change their mind and so on. Whatever happened, okay, that's gone now. We've had 61 years to fix it.
Yes.
And we now have a chance, and we're barely hearing anything about it. So the Advocates Network in our last release reminded the public that we have this conversation. The issues with respect to the tabling of the reports involve constitutional matters. These are matters that the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs is set up to wade in, and with respect to all constitutional matters. That was my understanding of the broad mandate, with the aim of taking us through the legal requirements to make changes in the Constitution to take us to this republic. Now, there are so many issues with respect to what kind of republic.
That was the next question I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
That's a question I was going to ask you now. Pana, a level of levels, which one of these two identities you think Jamaica should take as it relates to the republic?
Well, I think, first of all, the republic, as we know it, is a You mean public or the current arrangement, which is the
No,
constitutional
no.
monarchy?
It's either going to have an executive, the idea of executive and what do you call the other one? Two different, like the one
Nominated versus. All right.
in like America. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So let me just back up and say this is why part of the disappointment and what we expressed in our release about public education is so important, because the focus in terms of the republic, in terms of the public's understanding and discussion, the focus seemed to be around how we select a new head of state that is not the monarch. I want to submit that the issues are much deeper and much more profound than how we select a head of state. All right, so bear with me, and I'm going to come back to that issue of elected versus appointed. The questions that confront us today, and why you invited me to this program, speaks to the structure of our parliamentary arrangement or structure of governance, in which I conclude and others are inappropriate to meeting the needs of Jamaica in the modern world. We inherited a constitution and a structure of government that were set up for a colonial era, in which all the power was concentrated in the hands of the governor. And at independence, that power was handed over to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. There's very little arrangements in the Constitution that gives people any power. In fact, there is no reference to the people in our Constitution.
No, it's the crown.
Right. So we have to fix that. We have to fix it. We, the people of Jamaica, need to make very clear statements in that Constitution that we are sovereign, that Jamaica belongs to us, and it is our will that must shape the structure of government and the arrangements and the decision-making that we want in a republic. Now, it means then that we have to move to a different form of governance in which we are not lauded. Every now and then you hear a pronouncement and you hear this one said this, and and the tone in which it's said, you feel that, this is not something coming from us. And in fact, I observed recently in the budget debate that the discussions on both sides of the fence was about their ideas. It's our idea. It's a PNP idea or the JLP idea or my idea. What about the people of Jamaica?
People not coming at that.
Yeah. We not coming at that. We don't have no idea too. So.
But that's what the town hall meetings were supposed to be, to galvanize the people.
There were a few town hall meetings, but remember, you get to these town hall meetings to hear views when people understand what we're talking about. So we felt that the conversation need to be conducted at several levels. There's basic understanding of what a constitution is, why we need a constitution, how it fits in all the laws of the land, what is a referendum, all of these basic things we have to get to before we begin to engage in any meaningful way what we're talking about. So let me come back to your point about the selection or appointment of a head of state. So we looked at polls. There's a recent Dunham's poll that pointed to about 70% of Jamaica want to elect a president. Okay? Now, and for some people, that would be the only head of state. There's not going to be, remember, in some jurisdictions, you have a head of state that has more of a ceremonial type of a role, and you have a head of government that is involved in the running of the country in terms of
like a PNP, like a prime minister and a president
kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
no,
like
if that. You right. So if you have that and And the prime minister is elected the way our prime ministers have been elected, which is that your constituency elect you. And you have a president that is elected by all of us, right? Who carries more sway? How do you resolve issues at that level? Because clearly the head of state with the mandate from the entire Jamaica is going to claim more authenticity, because it is the people of Jamaica, all of the people of Jamaica, that voted that. So there's that potential problem that you will have. Now, for some people, they say, well, you don't need a prime minister. Okay, so if you concentrate power in the hands of one person, remember that person will have all the powers of the head of state and the prime minister. Now, the head of state, remember, is not just ceremonial. People say it's ceremonial. It's not just ceremonial. The head of state makes important decisions with respect to the public service and so on. So you are now concentrating even more power in the hands of one person. That for me is very troubling, because right now we see concentration in the power of the prime minister and the cabinet. And we see the problems we see. We live with it every day. Do we want more of that? And I want to add that the same poll that Jamaicans said they want to elect a head of state, that same poll Jamaicans said overwhelmingly, about 70 or 80% of Jamaicans said that the prime minister should not have so much power. So you see the problem there. So for me, in a nutshell, I think the issue is about the governance arrangement that provides adequate checks and balances and oversight with respect to the decisions of a prime minister and the cabinet, and that's where our representatives in parliament ought to dominate the parliamentary arrangement and not the other way around. And that was the design and the intent of parliament. Certainly that's what exists in other jurisdictions. It is the parliamentarians, it's the people's representative that dominate those discussions. That's one.
But don't that's what's going on now?
No. The whole legislative agenda. No, man, the whole legislative agenda is dominated by the executive. Okay. The whole what goes on in parliament is dominated by the people in the executive. They're the ones who have all the power. And I want to go on to say that what we must be asking for, if we want more inclusive government and if we want a governmentary arrangement that represents the will of the Jamaican people, then we want mechanisms in which our voices are heard. And those include things like the right to petition Parliament for you, for I, for anybody, to go to Parliament and say, boy, we don't like this, or we like this, you know, or here's our experience with this rule that you all just put in place, right? We live up in the rural communities of St. Anne, and this thing that may work for Kingstonian not working for us. So we need to have that kind of conversation, not just at the national level, but at the local level. We have to rethink what we're doing with local government. The local government structure is rooted in an 1800 piece of legislation. We have to modernize and think differently about these arrangements. Now, it's not going to take place overnight, but we certainly want to hear from our government or the opposition enough of the intent to do what the Prime Minister says, which is that he is pursuing a comprehensive and meaningful comprehensive reform. For it to be meaningful, it has to empower the Jamaican people and ensure that the people's voices are heard.
All right, make me ask you a question now. Because people listen to this. All right, America is a republic. It was a continent with different, like 50-odd countries, even though they don't call it state, but it's country. So you have the federal government, and you have the what you call the state laws. State laws different from the federal laws. So you have to have a Supreme Court to deal with the whole of the state them, whether or not them agree with it or not. All right. How that should have fit into a Jamaican scenario about the president, and then you have different parishes have like where we have their governor, but the law and the governance stop where the Supreme Court is, which is the Prime Minister, the President, sorry.
All right, so the first point to make is that every country comes to these issues of democracy and constitution through their own social and historical experience. To make sense of the federal system in America, you have to go back to their history and what happened. And I think you hinted at it when you're saying that, people who left Europe and went to America and enslaved Africans that were brought to America went into different parts of the country. Of course, we know what they did to the Native Americans and essentially set it up a state which ran like a country. Okay? So the problem they had at the time when they were writing a constitution is that they had these separate, what we call states now, which were really running like countries. Right? And so if you recall the very first line of the Constitution, it says, we the people. Most people remember that. We the people of the United States. But the next piece is important. We the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union. That was the issue they were trying to fix. You see? Now, I say that to say that in the case of Jamaica, given our own historical experience, we're not trying to fix this, create a union. And I said they came up with, the federal level and state levels and so on because they had this problem they're trying to fix. They're trying to create a more perfect union, right? And they've set up those institutions to do that. In our case in Jamaica, I would say when I look at our history, our historical experience in this part of the world as indigenous people and as people who were brought from the continent of Africa and other parts of the world, our struggle, the majority of us, has been how do we create a framework to be free, to pursue self-determination, and to regain our humanity as a member of the human race. Those are our preoccupations. So that's what we want, a constitutional legal framework that does that, because today in 2024, we're still struggling with issues of who we are as human beings.
So you don't think the American Constitution give way to that thinking?
You mean this the thinking about freedom and so on?
Yes, like what you just said a while ago.
Absolutely, to the extent that they too had that experience of, slavery and so on, and they have embraced democratic values.
But what?
Focus on these things of freedom and so on. These are the kinds of issues that they embrace. Now, the question we have to ask, the Americans solve it for themselves, we have to ask ourselves, what are the most appropriate institutions we need to achieve these objectives? That's a contradiction. And it may not be, this is where I'm coming, it may not be the same institutions and structures that were set up for America, because they had a different problem, a different set of problems, although some of them are similar, as you're rightly pointing to. Right?
No, but wait. Explain to me what you call difference, because you have people leaving Europe and going to America and take over the country from the Native American. You have people leaving Europe and come to Jamaica and take over the country from the Taino and the Africans who was there. So what is it that making what is in America, because I remember them have to fight a civil war also,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so what is it that is different, that you say is different from the experiences of what taking place in America to what take place in Jamaica? What's the difference?
Well, first of all, if you look at what happened with them with respect to that break with the British, right? So there was there was the war that they had where they had to settle this matter of the British and the arrangements that they would put. That arrangements to sever ties with the British was really about an arrangement that enabled white Americans who came from Europe to continue to lead and to engage trade on terms that they want, etc. And to do it in a way that continued their own domination of the people they could dominate at the time. And of course, we were in the throes of the slave trade at the time, and of course, they were engaged in this whole Holocaust, essentially, of the Native Americans.
And that was what happened in Jamaica too, with the British here.
By the time we broke with the British, though, remember, we are a majority African nation.
Yeah, but we never broke with the British. We never broke with the British.
Well, let's describe it more accurately. At the time that we had this independence, quote unquote, right? The handing over was not to majority whites who were able to perpetuate those institutions in any simple way. The majority were black. A handful of people, the mulatto class, whites, still continue to dominate both the economy and the society because the society was set up for that. Remember, they got special schooling.
That's why I asked you, what is the difference between what was taking place in America and what is still taking place in Jamaica as it relates to governance? Because the Constitution was given to us by the same slave masters.
Yes.
So there was no Constitution reform after them giving it in 1962. So right now we still have that. What is it that would make us different? The experience is different from the American experience.
I would say one difference and similarity is the extent to which we have in our form of governance institutionalized this kind of authoritarian style of governance. We got it from the governor and we institutionalize it in our arrangement. And you see, if you look over time and you see successive governance, when you change, they say the same khaki pants, you change one side, you get the next side, the same kind of authoritarian rule on both sides. We've seen that for a long time. Yes. We see a slight difference in the southern approach, and you've seen it now playing out in the U.S., experience of governance, the same kind of authoritarian approach. You see it less true, not completely different, but less true in the north. Yes. And so the similarities has to do with the experience of slavery and the institutionalization of those norms, that style of governance and rule. And you see it coming back. Coming from the south, you see what's happening in Florida and other states.
So you don't see it here in Jamaica?
Well, we experience it. We are experiencing it right here, where we see that we have this kind of top-down approach to governance, and the cry of many Jamaicans in all walks of life is a much more of a governance arrangement that's responsive to people's needs. And that's why I made a point earlier that we have to think again about our local government structure, for example, and to recognize that Jamaicans want decisions closer to them. They want to be able to influence which road is cut, which school is set up in their community, where and what kind of education. They want to have a more direct say. They don't want to have to go to central government to solve all of their problems. Central government is concentrated in Kingston and St. Andrew. Most people who are dominating these institutions don't understand those realities, both public sector institutions.
We have to continue this next time, trust me. We have to continue this next time. Believe you me. We give thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, man, thank you. Good conversation, and I think that this is the kind of thing that we need to do as we go towards this thing we call a republic, as we begin to engage and ask our question ourselves.
It's not going to the republic is the problem, It's what kind of republic is the problem.
Exactly. what kind of republic we want.
Yeah.
Absolutely so. And I conclude that it's the republic that we, the people of Jamaica, want.
Okay, give thanks.
All right, all the best. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's Rosalie Hamilton from the Advocacy Network. Very important topic. Very, very important topic. But before we get the break, so we have 1.5 minutes to the break. We want to bring back this tune here. We want to hear the most amazing thing. The most amazing thing. I want to read it to you. You know, Senegal have an election just last week or this week. And them elect the youngest president in Africa. He might just 40 years old. But that is not the amazing part of it. We want to make you hear the amazing part. I can read it. Senegal inaugurated Africa's youngest elected leader as president on Tuesday, as the 44-year-old and previously little known Bassirou Faye completed a dramatic ascent from prison to palace within weeks. Last month's election tested Senegalese reputation as a stable democracy in West Africa, a region rocked in recent years by coup and attempted coups. Faye was released from prison less than 2 weeks before the vote. Hear that? He was released from prison less than 2 weeks before the vote. That means him did a rally from prison along with mentor and popular opposition figure Ousmane Sonko, following a political amnesty announced by outgoing President Macky Sall. Now this youth in a prison, and 2 weeks him come out of prison, less than 2 weeks, and him win the election. Them say, in his first speech as president, Faye remembered those killed and arrested during the protests and promised to deliver greater sovereignty for Senegal while working to build prosperity. Quote, I am aware that the results of elections express a profound desire for systematic change, he said. This is the first elected office for Faye, a former tax inspector. This is serious. Now, if you don't know, Senegal is one of the jewels of France in West Africa. And we hear about all of the things that took place in the past year or so. When a whole heap of the ones them who take over government decide, say, France must leave Africa. Because over the years, them dig out the mineral resources of Africa. And Africans still they are the same place where them today when them come in the country. No, we don't know about this youth, yeah? We don't know about this youth, yeah, but I guess the French now are afraid. Say, I hope him don't come do the same thing like the other one them. Because you still have a next one named Cote d'Ivoire, which is the Ivory Coast, which is also French. Them call it, what them call it? Ivory Coast them call it. And all of these places was French colonies. Senegal, them call it Senegambia. Ironically, Gambia and Senegal is the same country. But Gambia is surrounded by Senegal. And them speak English. Can't believe that. That is the way of the Europeans. One country is like St. Martin. One side is Dutch. And one side is French. Same island, you know. Same island. You can drive round it in about 40 minutes. Same island. But one is controlled by the French, one part, and the other part is controlled by the Dutch. Same with America. America, one part is controlled by the British, and one part is controlled by Spaniards. What we are talking about? Mexico. Mexico. the same country. And now them call people alien. I hear this brother here call people, the people them say we are trying to get in America. It's animals. Can't believe a president has said that. A long time president has said the people them is animals. And if him hold the presidency, him going to lock all of them places there and export all aliens out of. Hey, watch out. Him wife a alien, you know. Him wife a alien. Him forget. That terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. So this is the next one we want to play. We fit into all we are going. And even though it's a couple years where it make, it's still relevant. We miss out this for 2 weeks now, but today I try again. African names. So we're going to give you the male names first. Abdallah, Abdalla. Abdallah, Swahili name, servant of God. Abiade, Abiade, Abiade is a Yoruba name, born to royal parents. Adebaya, Adebaya. Adebaya means he came in a joyful time. And Akoyo, Akoyo means wealth. So that's Abdallah, Abdalla, means servant of God. Abiade, 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 means born to royal parents. Adebaya, 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 he came in a joyful time. And Akoyo, Akou means wealth. Female names. Abini means she is ours. She's ours. Alike. Alike. She is my favorite. Bahati. Bahati. Bahati means luck. And Basa. Basa. Basa means act of God. Act of God. Female names. Abini, Abeni. She is ours. Alike. She is my favorite. Bahati, Bahati means luck. And Basa, Basa, Basha, means act of God. Tapazuke and Michael Rose, the blessing. We want to heal up Vivian Stewart, And we want to heal up Shane Clark, as usual. And by the way, we're going to come forward here Sunday from 2 to 6 with memories. We want to heal up all the people who listened last week, Trust me, I said, boy, Muta, easy, Yeah, man, we kind of add something to it, like people, places, and things, memories of people, places, and things. Like some place where you see a certain place, and it's not there again. And some people who we know, who are up Johnny Black, because we are inside pan Bagawaya. Bagawaya is a legend in our time, In this time, yeah. Because I have song we sing about him, but I don't know where them people they get them argument about Bagawaya, And not no go so, Not no go so. Hey, them say if you keep repeating the same thing all the while, it eventually become like that truth. And enough people say things about Bagawaya, Bagawaya. and sell out Marcus Garvey and all them something there. No go so. So we give thanks to Johnny Black. We give an insight from Johnny from Bagawaya, kind of know him. And we did also mention Pearl Harbor. And then a legend again, famous prostitute in Jamaica. Madame Mouchette. Them Johnny Walker and all them people there. So, yes. So we want to continue that journey. Not the same place, not the same people them. But the music, from mento to scat to reggae to rap steady to all sort of things. So why you stay tuned with me this Sunday for memories. Yours truly there again. So we have to wait for the cash pot.
My people, we have made it to the end. Telling you, it was serious. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section. And you know it's a Black Power movement, so definitely drop a like and subscribe. And share it to a friend or family so they can be a part of the movement. Now, let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. I'm looking forward to see your comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Ari.